Hey everyone, it's Kara here from Bohoberry, and I'm back with 1 month in my digital planner, and this is day 13. So it is Sunday morning, pretty early, and I'm getting ready to set up for my new week. But before I do that, I just want to make sure that all of my monthly spreads are completely up to date. So first things first is my habit tracker. So I'm going to zoom in here on that. And let me grab my blue pen. And let's see, for yesterday, I did not end up working out. I did eat clean, and I was in bed by 11. And then this morning, I did not wake up by 6. I slept in, and sleeping in to me is like 7:30, which was amazing. It was really, really nice. I have not worked out yet. Kind of debating on whether I'm going to today or whether I'm just going to start with a fresh new week tomorrow. And then I did take my prenatal vitamins, so I'm going to get that marked off in here. All right, there we go. Next up is gratitude for yesterday. And I think for yesterday, I spent some time kind of just being creative outside of my digital planner and outside of just planning in general yesterday, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I think creativity is going to be my gratitude for yesterday. So I'm going to go to my gray pen. And let's see. There we go. I like that. That looks cute. Okay, next is my mood mandala, which I'm just going to do a ring for and not worry about drawing because I have a lot to do to set up my week today. Let's see. Yesterday, I think I'm going to go with relaxed again. It was a pretty good relaxing day yesterday, which was kind of just what I needed. All right, there we go. And now this week's spread, I do want to mark off my tasks for yesterday and make sure that's all complete. All right, and then let's do a tiny bit of journaling. All right, journaling is done. And that means this week is basically complete. I'm not going to add any tasks or anything to today, Sunday. I will actually put the weather in there though. That would be good to do. High 58, low 51, and rainy. All right, where's my rain? And I guess I should probably highlight my time bar as well. All right, there we go. I'm basically leaving my entire day blank because Mother's Day. Like I said, I kind of refuse to plan anything at all on Mother's Day, so that's just going to be that. And actually, I'm going to move this sticker or resize it a little bit since I'm not going to be using this daily box at all, basically. Put it right there. All right, so on to next week. All right, so this is my next weekly spread, and as you can see here, I have that one task that I brought over from last week that I didn't want to forget about, so I have it in here really, really large. But this week, I kind of want to play around and create my weekly layout in Procreate and then bring it over into my planner. So I'm going to show you how I do that. The first thing I'm going to do is copy a blank dot grid page. So I'm going to go to my dots right here, make sure my pen tool is turned on so my link works. Go to my dots there. In my planner, I'm going to tap and hold, and you'll see how it highlights just the paper. I'm going to hit Save to Camera Roll. So now if I go into my photos, you will see that I have a photo that is just my blank dot grid paper with the rings. So I'm going to use that in Procreate to design a layout. All right, so I'm going to go to Procreate, and let's make sure this is nice and centered for you. All right, and I'm going to go to this stack right here, and here I have some examples of some pages that I've created in Procreate using this technique. So I actually created my fitness tracker in here. I also created a couple of weekly spreads when I was playing around getting the hang of the idea. So I think This is actually the one that I'm going to use, but I'm going to show you how I created it as well. But just as an example, I have another one here that's like a vertical hourly, and then one that's more kind of like a traditional weekly spread like I used to use in my regular bullet journal. All right, so I'm going to create a brand new one. I'm going to select photo so that I can grab that picture from my camera roll. Tap on it right here. And now I have a document that is the exact same size as those pages for my planner. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to bring in my weekly layout. So I still want to stay on the quadrant weekly layout. I just want to kind of change up the formatting of it a little bit. So I'm going to go to my toolbar here and select image and insert a file. I have these saved as images in my iCloud Drive. Oh, I think I have them in stickers. Actually, yep, weekly layouts. All right, Monday start, because that's what I use. And I'm going to use this quadrant week with a Monday start. All right, so that comes in. And what's great about it is that it comes in the exact correct size that I need. So it fits perfectly over those dot grids. So you'll notice that this is the same exact weekly spread. It's just a little bare bones. So instead of having the color to match the month of May and those color bars in the back, it's just very plain and simple. So what I'm going to do next is add some color to this page. So I do want to stick with that light blue color for the month of May. So I'm going to go there on my color palette. And if you're using Procreate and you would like to have these colors, I will put the hex codes of the colors in the video description for you so that you can have those in Procreate as well. All right, so I've got my light blue. And the first thing I want to do is change the color of the lines. So I'm going to zoom way in here. And I want to make sure that I'm on the correct layer. So my first layer, and I'm going to rename these so it's easier for you to see. This is my paper. Okay. This is my weekly layout. All right, so I'm on my weekly layout layer, and I want to change these black lines to that blue color to match May. So I'm just going to drag my color right onto those lines. And I will have to do that on this side as well. There we go. So I've changed the color there. All right, next I want to create a new layer. And I want this to be under my weekly layout. This is going to be for the color that goes behind my days of the week. All right, and I'm going to do my best throughout this video to only use brushes that already come with Procreate, but I'm going to go to my brush panel and let's see, I think it's under painting. Yep, painting, this flat brush right here. And I'm going to zoom in. Remember, we're on this layer in between the paper and the weekly layout. And let's test the size of this brush. I maybe want that a little bit larger. All right, so I'm going to zoom way in here and I'm going to draw a little paint swash that goes across right there. I think I want to start it a little bit like that. And in Procreate, let me do that again so that you can see what I did because I went through it really fast. If you drag and then hold your pen, it'll draw a straight line like this. See how it popped to a straight line there? Now, say I have it at a weird angle. If I tap on the screen while I'm still holding it, if I tap on the screen, it's going to snap to either a 45-degree or a straight line. So let's see, I'm slightly off here. There we go. It snaps to that straight line. So that's what I want. I want to make sure it's straight. Okay, so I'm going to do that again for all of my other days. All right, and I want to add another little pop of color under that. So I'm actually going to go with my, I think I'm going to go with my teal. Let's do that. All right, so to do that, I'm going to create another layer and I'm going to put it under this one. I want this layer of teal to kind of be behind these. And I want to make my brush a little bit larger. And we'll do exactly the same thing. All right, there we go. So now I have this fun design on my days of the week. All right, up next, I want to add in my dates, and I want these to be in that light blue color. First, I'm actually going to merge these two layers. These are my little color swashes. So I'm going to merge those down just to kind of keep everything clean up here. And I'm going to bring in some stickers. Everything else I'm doing is pretty much going to be stickers. I will have some stuff where I decorate with a brush, but I'm going to go ahead and bring in all the stickers that I want to use all at the same time. So I'm going to go up here to my wrench and I'm going to insert a file. And I'm going to go to where I have all of my stickers saved in my iCloud Drive. You could have these saved on your camera roll. You could have these saved anywhere else in Dropbox, Google Drive, anywhere like that. I just happen to have mine saved in iCloud Drive. So let's see. I might want a little mini calendar. So I'm going to put that there. Now don't worry, we're going to crop all these down. I'm just bringing in every single sticker that I might want to use. And when you bring that in, it creates it in a new layer. So you don't have to worry about things overlapping or anything like that. All right, so I'm just going to go through really quickly and bring in the rest. All right, so that is all the stickers that I'm going to use, and you can see they're all kind of overlapping each other, which looks kind of crazy. But if I open my layers panel, you can see that I have all of my stickers as individual sheets in here, and I can turn them off and just work with the ones that I want. If it helps you, if these thumbnails are too small, to me I can see them just fine, but you can always rename these so that you know what sheet you're working with. First thing I'm going to work with is my number dots. This is a new set that I've been working on to put in the shop. It's not quite finished because I don't have the cropped GoodNotes files yet, but I really like them. They're super cute. So first thing I'm going to do is bring my weekly layout. I'm going to bring it down right on top of those color swashes. Now everything else is on top, so I don't have to worry about anything else showing through. All right, so I'm going to go to my number dots, and I have just that layer selected, and I'm going to grab the dates that I need. So this week is the 14th through the 20th, so I'm going to go to this little S-shaped tool up here. That's a selection tool, and I am going to simply kind of freehand crop these dates out. There we go. Hit the arrow. Now I have those dates selected, and I'm going to swipe down with 3 fingers, and I'm going to copy and paste. Now what that does is it just copied and pasted those 7 numbers that I selected. So if I go in here in my layers panel, you'll see I have one layer with all of the dots, and then I have a brand new layer with what I just pasted, which is just those 7 dots. So I'm going to turn off the layer with all of the dots. And actually, to keep everything clean, I'm just going to delete it because I'm not going to need it. And now I have just this layer with just those 7 dots. All right, now I'm going to tap on my arrow that selects my layer and make sure I'm on magnetic down here. And I'm going to resize all of these at once to the size that I want them to be. And let's see, I just want to put it on here and see what it looks like. I think that size looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to tap off. And now I'm just going to select each one individually and move it to where I want it. And for this, I'm going to use freeform because it's a lot easier to move things around without it trying to snap in place. All right, there we go. So now I have my days of the week. All right, up next, I want to add in some water tracker stickers. I have not been doing the best job lately of drinking enough water. I thought it was something that I really had a good handle on, like drinking water all day, every day, and it just hasn't quite happened lately. So I want to make sure that I'm tracking my water intake again. So I'm going to go to my water tracker stickers. Oh, and now that I have these dots in place, I can go ahead and move these down to the bottom. And I could merge it all together, but I'm just going to save it till the end. But I'm just going to label this number dots, just in case I want to change anything. They're all on their own layer and I don't have to worry about it. Okay, next, hydrate stickers. So I'm going to go to this layer and here's my hydrate stickers and I'm going to grab the ones that I want. And I think I am going to go with the little cups. I think they'll fit this layout really well. All right, so let me zoom way in here. And I am just going to lasso, same thing I did with the number dots. There we go. Hit my arrow to select that and swipe down with 3 fingers, copy and paste. Okay, so now I can get rid of this layer, which is the full sticker sheet. And I just have my water cups right down here. So I'm going to grab my arrow and let's resize this. Make sure you're on magnetic so that they don't lose their shape. And let's make them fit right down in here. All right, now I'm going to move to freeform so that I can position them exactly where I want them. There we go, that looks pretty good. And now that I have them all cropped and sized accordingly, you can see they're on their own layer. So I'm just going to hit copy and paste, go back to magnetic so that everything snaps, and drag those over. And I'm going to do that for the rest of the page. All right, so that is done. And then up next, I want to do my time tracker for each day. But first, I'm going to merge all of these water trackers together. So I'm just going to put one finger on the top one and one on the bottom, and I'm just going to pinch them together. And now they're all on their own layer. So I'm going to take that down underneath. And me moving around all these layers, it's not something you necessarily have to do. I just like to keep everything kind of organized so that I know that what's up top here are the stickers that I haven't used yet. What's down here is what's already set in place. So I'm going to rename this just for my own sanity. Water trackers. All right, so up next, I want to add my time bar. So I'm going to go to that layer that has my tracker stickers and grab the time bar that I want, which is going to be this one up at the very top. And again, just copy and paste. Now I have that on its own layer, and instead of deleting this other one, I'm going to keep it because I'm going to use those progress bars for something else. So I'm just going to turn it off, and now I'm on my layer with just my time tracker. So I'm going to grab that and let's resize. Make sure you're on magnetic. There we go. I want to nudge that a little bit. So to nudge something over, you just want to tap outside of the square, and every time you tap, let me zoom way in so you can see what's actually happening. Every time you tap, it's just going to nudge it over just a tiny little bit. All right. So I'm going to nudge that back. Actually, I'm going to use 2 fingers to undo. All right. So now we have my time bar in there, and I want to do the same thing I did with my water trackers and duplicate those across the page. All right, so those are in, and I'm going to do the same as I did with the water trackers, just merge them all to one layer, bring it down here, and I'm going to call this time bars. All right, and let me look through what I have left. I'm actually going to get rid of these calendars. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really have anywhere that they're going to fit nicely because I want to keep this section for my upcoming projects. So I'm just going to get rid of that layer altogether, and I'm going to add some progress bars for my projects. Now this week, I think I want to play around with making these horizontal time bars, and if you have this sticker set, I have both a vertical and a horizontal progress tracker. So I'm going to use the horizontal one this week. Again, just copy and paste. And I can get rid of the rest of this. All right, so let's see what this looks like size-wise down here. It's pretty close to where I want it. Let me zoom in. There we go. And that looks pretty good. All right, so that's the size I want for my progress bar. And I'm going to bring that down 3 more times. So I'm going to copy and paste. All right, that looks pretty good. I might want to bring these up a notch. I want to leave enough space to write the name of the project under each one, and I don't know that this one at the bottom has quite enough space. So I'm going to merge these all into their own layer so that I can move them together, and just going to bring these up 1 more notch here. All right, that looks pretty good. And now I want to do a title for the projects up top here. So I'm going to create a whole new layer. Let me go ahead and get these merged down here. And up top, I'm going to create a new layer. And I think I am going to use my teal, and I'm going to go into the calligraphy section and I'm going to grab the monoline brush. I have two monolines here because I've modified this one up top. I just modified it so that I could make it smaller than it would go in the first place. I'll do a tutorial someday on modifying brushes to suit you, but just to show you, I'm going to use the regular monoline brush, and let's see, that's as small as it goes. I think that's a pretty good size, maybe a little bit larger. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so I'm just going to write out projects. All right, so we've got projects there, and what's great about doing this on its own layer is that now I can center it. See how it's a little off center there? So now I can just grab my arrow and just kind of nudge it over to where it looks kind of centered. All right, that looks pretty good to me. And I want to add a little jazz. Little jazz. What is that, Kara? Okay, I want to add a little something to this. So I'm going to create a brand new layer on top of it, and I'm going to grab a different color. Maybe just this. Yeah, I'll go with this light blue that goes with the rest of May. And I'm going to grab an airbrush. And I think the soft airbrush might be good. Let's see. Yeah, that'll be excellent. Okay, so I've got my soft airbrush, and I want to make sure that I'm only coloring on the word projects. So I'm going to go to projects and hit select. And now anything I do will only show up on top of what I have written there. All right, so let's see. All right, let's see how that looks. All right, so I really like that. Let's see how it looks from afar. Can you still read that it says projects? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to leave that as is. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just add a little decor to the page. So I'm going to merge these layers down so that is all one word, and just bring it down there. And then let's add some pretty stuff to this page. All right, so we're going to go with a border. And let's see, I want to use this little flowery one up here. I know it's hard to see. Let me move that down. All right, so that's the border that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to grab that. Copy and paste. And then I'll get rid of the rest. All right, and now I just want to place this. Let me go to freeform so it's easier to move around. And I'm going to place it right up here. That looks good. And I'm going to copy and paste and drag it over. There we go. And now I'm actually going to erase with my eraser tool. Alternatively, you can also just circle what you want to get rid of and cut it like so. All right, and now that I have that the size that I want it, I'm going to merge that down so that it's all one row of flowers, and I'm going to copy and paste and bring that over here. All right, and it looks like there was a spot I missed with my eraser, which is why that cut tool is sometimes a lot better. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom. And then I'm going to copy and paste and drag it over to here as well. All right, and on this one, I actually only want it to come to the end here. I don't want it over here. So I'm going to cut out this section. All right, there we go. I'm happy with that. And now I want all my border to be all one layer. So I'm going to merge those as well. All right, so I have all of my borders as one static image, and now I think I want to just add one more little thing here, and that's kind of a little background to this projects area. So I'm going to grab a fun brush, which is, let's see, where are you, brush? Is it under painting? No, no, no. Elements? No, spray paints. Here it is. The flicks, the water flicks. I love, 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 love this brush. All right, so I'm going to go to my boho berry teal again. Oops, and you can see it's already starting there. Let's do this on a new layer. And I'm going to have some fun with this brush. So I'm just going to paint some splatters here. Is that too splattery? That might be too splattery. Let's do some individual splats here. There we go. That looks pretty good. It's covering up other things. That's all right. We're going to fix that. First thing I'm going to do is erase the parts that I don't want. All right, and actually I don't think I want it behind the title at all either. Just use my big old lasso tool here. Get rid of that. All right, and I don't want it covering any of this over here. All right, now I want these splats to be behind my trackers. So I'm going to slide this layer underneath there. So now they're behind, and I think they might be a little too like kapow bright. Is that a thing? Kapow bright. So I'm going to reduce the opacity on these a little bit. So I'm going to tap on that N, and I'm just going to turn the opacity slider down a bit. And there we go. I think that looks pretty good. Now you could of course go ahead and plan out your entire week right here in Procreate. Just keep in mind that anything that you write in here, when you put this image into GoodNotes, you're not going to be able to change that. So I'm actually going to do all of my writing over in GoodNotes. All right, so now I am going to export this. So I'm going to share. I'm going to do it as a PNG because that's what I'm used to. And save image. And now I'm going to go into GoodNotes. And I'm going to go back to the weekly spread I'm changing, which is the 14th. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because I'm about to write it on there, planner layouts in shop. All right, so now in here, I'm going to tap and hold and hit image, go to my photos, and here's that brand new planner spread that we just created. So I'm going to drag this to the center, and then I'm just going to size out until it fits on top of that page. And there we go. I have a brand new weekly spread. What's cool about this is that the links still work. So if I go to May and I tap on the 14th, it's still going to bring me to the week of the 14th. And now I can write and do everything else on here just like I would on my other one. The key difference here to keep in mind is that when you have an entire page that's an image like this, if you bring in a sticker, for example, let's say that I bring in a little flag. So I'm going to grab this, copy, and paste it in here. All right, so let's say I bring in this sticker and I want to move it. I can no longer lasso. It lassos everything there. You see how it moves the whole entire page? So I'm just going to hit undo so that it recenters everything. What you have to do instead to move those stickers that you've placed on top is be on your No Pen tool and just tap and hold on that individual sticker and hit edit. And now you can move that around the page, you can rotate it, do everything else that you want to with it. Okay? All right, so I'm going to delete this and get to setting up for my week. I'm just going to add in a few appointments that I know are coming up and leave it at that, and I'll do the rest tomorrow since this has already been a super long video. Okay, so I want to make sure that planner layouts get in the shop, so I'm going to put that on tomorrow right away. And then on Tuesday is our new moon ceremony with Ezzy Spencer. And then Thursday, as always, I have my weekly call with Create Joy. All right, and that's going to be it. So I'm all set up for next week. I hope you enjoyed kind of getting a look at a kind of different way to set up your weekly spread. If there's anything you have questions on, I know I went over a lot, definitely let me know down below. I am going to be taking the rest of today off to relax and do Mother's Day themed things, I'm sure, and I will look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Bye!